Good afternoon guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to some club testing today. So you've seen this club on the channel in recent weeks, so I have played with it against James Robinson. I have been very consistent with this, and again, when I said it was the best driver of the year, we had a lot of comments with people saying, well, I would get it, but I don't want to be 20-30 yards behind my playing partners. I don't want to lose distance. So what I want to do today, we've got TrackMan set up. We're here in the studio at Waterfront. We're going to get some numbers on this driver. So I've been playing reasonably well, even though James probably won't agree. But I'm still yet to miss a fairway with this. So obviously we're not able to get on the golf course today because it is saturated and it's not stopped raining for 2 days. So we're going to compare this. I did get fitted for a Titleist TSR driver. So I've got a Titleist TSR 3 in the bag. And we're going to show obviously the gains or the not gains that I'm getting from this driver. So again, this driver is shorter. So it has a 3 wood shaft in it. I have got it set at, well, it's 13.5 degrees, but I've got it turned down a little bit lower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a couple of shots here. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to start to see the numbers on here. So let's talk some numbers first. Obviously, club head speed, what am I expecting? On average, normally my club head speed is between 110 and 115 with a driver. On average, I'd say obviously around about the 110 number. Gets a little bit faster as you get into your round, but think about it, if you warm up, that is going to vary. So when you come onto a TrackMan, if you are on the TrackMan range like here at Waterfront, you need to think about how many shots you've had. If you go straight in with a driver, you're never going to be as loose. You're not going to get the numbers that you probably want straight away. So I've had a couple of warm-up shots. I'm coming in now. Again, tee height straight away with a mini driver. We know it's a little bit smaller head. That's why maybe I'm favouring it over a driver because I can't find the middle of the face. So we're going to see it a little bit lower, but we're still treating it as we do want to hit up onto this golf ball. We're not trying to hit down. It's not like a fairway would, although it looks a lot closer to that than a driver. Again, I'm going to set up very similar to that. It's a little bit shorter as we know, so 43.5 inches with the shaft. And if I can eventually get a ball to stay on the tee, we will hit one here. Normal setup here, and again just commit to this nice normal swing. Again, one thing I have seen with this driver is a nice little draw, whether that's the swing or it's the club and the shaft. Again, just at the left hand side, carry straight away there, 251. So let's have a look at the data. 251 miles an hour, 251 miles an hour. 251 yards carry, going 275 yards, so 15 yards away from where I'm wanting to be, but 106 miles an hour spin, so certainly a little bit slower than my driver at the minute. So again, we'll see what this gets to. Okay, so in here nicely. Again, setup wise, I'm not going to go maybe as wide as I would with the driver. It's a little bit shorter, but a normal imbalance swing here. Again, started up a little bit up the right, but solid flight on that. So that's one thing I have seen. I've seen a nice ball flight, and that's what I want to see. That again is going to be the shaft. There, numbers wise, let's have a quick look at the data. Data wise there, we've got 107 miles an hour roughly, 255 yards carry, 270 yards. So a little bit shorter than I want it to be. Again, was a little bit off the bottom of the face. So let's have another go at that. Again, another great flight. Drawing back a little bit, 107 miles an hour again, so club head speed ever so slightly down. 255 yards carry, 273 yards total, or just under. One less layer. Again, yesterday I did get this up to 110 club head speed, and it was carrying around about 275, which is what I've got it at the total now. So a little bit of a lower tee, because I haven't struck one that great as of yet. Again, a little bit of a toey strike there. I'm going to say 109, so a little bit more speed there. So much closer to where it was yesterday. Straight down the middle, but again, 252 carry, 270 total. So one more and then we'll switch to driver. So again, here. That one was it certainly felt solid. It certainly felt out of the middle. 110 miles an hour, 161 ball speed, so much closer to yesterday. And that's much closer to what I was hitting it roughly yesterday. 266 carry, 286, so nearly that 290 number I was looking for, but ball speed pretty high. Got back to where I'd expect for club head speed, so I was saying that's with the driver, and that's probably is 2.5 inches longer in the shaft. So I can get out to those numbers. It just shows as well when the club head speed's down, it is going to go less. But if I get the speed to where I need it to be, if I warm up correctly, and I hit one out of the middle, which I have been doing more so with this, that's 286 yards total. In the summer, that's going to be running out over 300 yards. So I'm going to hit driving out and just show the differences of how, yes, the ball speed might go up, the club head speed might go up, but overall, do I strike it any better, or am I more consistent with the mini driver? Okay, moving on to the TSI. I did say TSR before, I do apologise. So the TSI 3, so this is last year's driver. Obviously we know the new one's out. Again, this was fitted for me, so I know it's down at 7 degrees of loft. It's got a 60 gram shaft at 6.0 hazardous smoke. So again, the driver that I was fitted for, this was getting me out there to around about 290 carry. But what I've found over the season, when I have used this driver, it's not been the most consistent. So it's not been consistent with where I'm striking it on the face. I do have the tendency to try and hit this a little bit harder. And is that because the driver head is a little bit bigger? And ask yourself that, comment below, is that something you find? You find you get the bigger club, you get the driver, you know it's going to go the furthest, so we start to give it that little bit more. Straight away there, a little bottomy strike, not great. We can see that. 162 ball speed, so faster ball speed. Again, numbers 224 carry. It was certainly a bad shot, but I'm not going to put that down to the driver. I'm going to put that down to myself. So let's have a quick look. So second one up, more in balance here. Again, I don't feel like I've swung any different there. Club head speed's gone up, ball speed's gone up. That's the furthest right one I've had, and again, that's a tendency of mine. So I miss most shots to the right. Carry 264, gone 280. So not a centred strike, and obviously not gone any better than the mini driver. Right, so let's see if we can get one out of the middle. Started straight, but again, strike wise there, 111 miles an hour, 161 ball speed. Let's see the total. 261 carry. Again, not too far off centred, but going the exact same as something that is 2.5 inches shorter. That certainly feels a lot more comfortable over the ball. I feel like I can be more aggressive than I can with the TSI 3. I found that with the new tires as well, which I also had my hands on even when I tried the TSR 2. Dispersion wasn't as good. On the golf course, standing on a tee shot, I felt much more confident in that because I feel like it's like a fairway wood as opposed to with a driver. And yes, you potentially could lose distance, and that's what the comments were last week. You could lose distance, but what I've found is I find the centre of the face much more because it's a little bit smaller. I swing a lot more in balance, and I've tested this driver with the mid-handicapper, which will be on the channel next week, and you'll see how overall he was hitting a lot closer to the centre of the face because he felt, I can't swing it as hard, I can't hit at the ball. He's not swinging at the ball, but he's getting the same speed. The same here, I've got 110 miles an hour, very similar to something that is 2.5 inches longer, and I'm able to get the same distance but have a lot more confidence. So on those par fours that are tight, I'm able to get that out and feel like, yeah, I can keep this in play, I can get as far down there as I want, and I can be more consistent. The same for you guys. You might just hit more fairways, even if you lose 10 yards. But what I'm saying is you're more than likely not going to lose yardage because we should find the centre of the face and it actually come off a lot hotter than if you hit this part of the face or this part of the face that I find a lot when I use a driver. So guys, that's the mini driver. I'm not saying it is the best driver that has ever been, but for me it works, and for you it could potentially also work if you're somebody who's not confident with a driver. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed that. Hopefully you understand now it is a driver that is for people maybe who can't find the centre of the face. You get a little bit aggressive with this, and this is what's holding your handicap back. Grab a mini driver, guys. See if you can get one online. I know there is a new one coming out. Hopefully it can help you reduce your handicap. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again later in the week.